the power, the energy in her. So let's give her a big round of applause. I remember my KG teacher in my school days, how enthusiastic she was looking at you. Thank you very much, ma'am. God bless you. Well, learning about the concept, what we have been discussing and deliberating ever since morning, was about how to bring teaching learning a priority in our classrooms. But there was a word missing, which is quality. Now, quality we tend to reflect on our Amazon searches and what for the preferences in the reviews. And there is a priority now, as Tulika ma'am rightly pointed out, by the government, that we need to talk about quality in schools. This was a project which came, I think, 3-4 years back as schools quality assessment and accreditation. But now, God, accreditation has been replaced by assurance. And this is what is the main point, what every school has been directed. Even the states, the board professionals have come up to redefine and redraft their quality policy for grading their schools in the classroom teaching learning process. First of all, I want to very well tell you that this is a document which is uploaded on the CBSE website, and it's somewhat like a ready reckoner for your quality practices in any school you teach, whether it's a pre-primary school or it's a primary school or of any board, XYZ, that helps you be better as an academician. Of course, I'll be sharing the links where you can download it. Can you do it manually, please? First slide. Yeah. When I talk about the first slide, it says priority for schools, and SCO as the word known to everybody now. It relates to the definition of schools quality assessment and assurance as an initiative introduced by the CBSE to not only enhance the quality of schools but also to measure. And the best part is that it has given directives to measure for yourself. It is not like that somebody is going to be there with a stick and then measure you out of your doings, finding the facts and the faults. It is going to be your own measure out of the standards given, which includes the academics, the co-curricular activities, the infrastructure, the teachers' competency, the management, effectiveness, community engagement, and other things. There are beneficiaries defined in it, and these beneficiaries are related. Can we have the next slide, please? Yeah. The significance talks about improving the quality and assurance by providing a comprehensive framework for evaluation and improvement. Well, we've been knowing that teaching begins in the classroom at 7:30 after the assembly, and it goes on and off till the recess happens, and then continue the timetable, and then thank you very much, they take their bags and go home. But what is the takeaway? What is the takeaway? The learning outcome and the dining table discussion which goes in the evening at the homes. You know, that interaction is very much important. So we are reaching back to parents also as one of the beneficiaries in order to check on the quality and the commitment. It acts somewhat many aspects of the school functioning, and it fosters a culture of accountability, transparency, continuous improvement, which also defined as Kaizen, the Japanese concept, ensuring that schools deliver high quality education and holistic development to students. We all have heard about academic planning. We have been doing it. There was, I think, last year only CBSE initiated that for the heads of schools there was a complete course on academic plan. How to do it, there were drafts being done, and it was an online session, mandatory for the principals. And this happened with the very procedure that they wanted to roll out SQAA. So it talks about promoting excellence through various domains. I'll come back to it. And it aims to nurture well-rounded individuals who are academically proficient and socially responsible. So when we talk about contributing the takeaways of SQA, I would appreciate each one of you to Google the term and reflect on some of the webinars which have been floated by the CBSE. It was just, I think, 15 days back that the Secretary of Education talked about it, and we had somewhat like quite well-connected principals all over the country and even abroad who deliberated through comments on this about how to implement it. It talks about enhancing the academic excellence as one of the prime objectives and aims to uplift the academic standards by evaluating teaching methodologies, curriculum effectiveness, student learning outcomes, and also promotes a holistic development. Well, these are the terms which we have been discussing, contributing to the classroom scenario. I'm sure even CISC, that is the Council for the Schools Certificate Examination, also delivers on this plan to implement it with a march of time. Next, please. Then it also talks about infrastructure. There are parameters given, because I remember when I was conducting school audits as a freelancer on behalf of GEMS Education, we had few parameters, and that was taken again from different countries. This is a relatively add-on to a very nice spectrum of the parameters which are being targeted to many beneficiaries. These beneficiaries include the top management, the teachers, the students, the parents above all, and even the vendors. So they've touched upon the vendors' contribution to the effectiveness of the school management. And then we also have the efficacy of school leadership and the management practices in creating a positive learning environment. Next, please. It talks about fostering community engagement. Next. And it also dwells with the other one, please. Yeah, it also dwells with the resources available. Now, as I've said, in order to implement this in a positive manner, CBSE has been guiding in a very, very good manner about how the understanding can go, and the schools are free to adopt this very experiment. They have given some time frame where you, as a school principal, can appoint various individuals depending on the beneficiaries who are going to be evaluated. There are questionnaires given. You can download those questionnaires, fill it by the respective in charges of different streams, and then you evaluate it yourself by giving marks. And then ultimately you come to know that, oh, these are the things which are missing. Probably it looks like developing your own benchmark on quality delivery. These questionnaires relate to online resources, recognition and awards by the CBSE on implementing this. Then it talks about expert consultation. As I told you, there are various webinars being held. And if you talk about CBSE portal of training, they also have online trainings scheduled. Even physical trainings are being conducted. Schools can adopt, hold them for your teachers. Then there is support from CBSE officials, good practices sharing by the hubs of CBSE. That is also being made possible. Then of course we have assessment tools and guidelines, networking opportunities, online portal. I will be sharing that portal as well. Continuous monitoring and feedback, training workshops, webinars and seminars are being quite nicely implemented. Next please. Yeah, this is the portal which I was talking about. Now, if you just go into that, you just talk about SQAA and CBSE SQAA, you'll get that particular link, and then you have your own ID and the password which you do for your effectiveness of Shiksha ID. That goes well with that. I go into going with my affiliation number and the LOC password. Next please. And this is the screen we get. Instructions with regard to undertaking self-assessment against the SQA framework, and the information regarding the integration with the affiliation. Then we have self-learning material, self-assessment, and overall report card generation. That is the generation of the whole what we have evaluated. Next, please. Now, this is the specific instructions given online, how to go about it. These are the parameters, level 1, level 2, level 3, and then of course, depending on your inputs, you accordingly define it. And these levels are actually effectiveness of the school, how to go about that effectiveness in the school. You may be falling in level 1 and you may actually look forward to going for level 2 or level 3. So looking at these terms and terminologies, you get to know that yes, oh, I can do this much, I can do this very well. You know, there are mechanisms through which that vocabulary has been drafted so well. Next, please. Yeah, integration with affiliation. So many of the affiliated or going to be affiliated schools are going to be doing this task. You'll be guided by your inspectors or those who come for inspection, that you have to go to this website. So you have to relatively go ahead with that. Next. Yeah, this is the self-learning material which talks about the spirit of squad and the co-learning team, which reflects on the complete idea how to go about it. But before that, I would request each one of you to download that manual, which is around 210 pages, which tells you about what and why about this squad. Right? Next, please. I think that's the last one. At the end of it, it will tell you a complete score chart about how you stand comparative to all the domains, how you stand about the curriculum, pedagogy, the assessment, the infrastructure, the HR, the inclusive practices, the management, and that particular thing. So this is all about the level, the weighted score, which gets reflected by the end of your entry. Now, this may not happen that it's for once. You can carry on doing it after giving you some time. Then there are the external agencies also. Even CBSE does it in two phases. One is by you, and the other is by getting some expert to analyze your teaching learning process. So this is somewhat the score of formalities, and questions, if any, can be floated. Thank you very much.